It was meant to be an oversight visit. Instead, it turned into a flashpoint. 3 Democratic members of Congress, including Representative Ilhan Omar, say they were blocked from entering an ICE detention facility near Minneapolis at a moment when tensions in the city are already dangerously high. Here's what happened and why it matters. On Saturday morning, Representatives Ilhan Omar, Angie Cragg, and Kelly Morrison arrived at the Bishop Henry Ripple Federal Building in St. Paul. Their goal was simple: to inspect an ICE detention facility just outside Minneapolis as part of congressional oversight. At first, they were allowed inside, but moments later, Omar says officials received a message that the lawmakers were no longer permitted to continue their visit.
We were being detained. We were told that we had to come back out because his higher-ups had made a phone call to him saying that we are no longer allowed to be in the building and that an explanation.
No further explanation, no access. This incident comes just days after a fatal shooting that has already ignited protests across Minneapolis. An ICE agent shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good on Wednesday, a death that has intensified scrutiny of immigration enforcement in the region. Speaking at a press conference, Omar called the denial of access a blatant disregard of the law.
When we got upstairs, the explanation that we got was, yes, the law is on your side, but we don't care.
She says she had called ahead to notify officials of the visit and insists members of Congress are legally allowed to enter ICE facilities at any time. While inside the building, Omar says she witnessed 2 planes taking off. Officials told her those were not deportation flights, but transfers of detainees to other facilities within the United States. But then, she questioned conditions inside the detention center. According to Omar, officials claimed detainees were not held long enough to require hygiene products, a claim she openly disputes. The Department of Homeland Security tells a very different story. In a statement, Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said the visit was denied for the safety of staff and detainees and because it did not comply with ICE policies requiring lawmakers to give 7 days notice. But here's the key detail. A federal judge blocked that 7-day notice requirement back in December, meaning, legally, that policy should not apply. This clash is part of a much bigger national trend. As immigration enforcement expanded under the Trump administration, detentions surged, and so did congressional oversight. In the 2025 fiscal year alone, lawmakers conducted 165 visits to ICE facilities, more than the previous 3 years combined. But ICE, however, has accused Democratic lawmakers of turning those visits into political theater and has increasingly pushed back. Some confrontations have already turned explosive. Earlier this year, a heated standoff outside a new ICE facility led to the indictment of Representative LaMonica McIver of New Jersey. Now, with protests expected to grow across the Twin Cities and beyond, this latest denial is adding fuel to an already volatile situation. The question going forward is this about safety and procedure, or about restricting oversight at a time when accountability is under the brightest spotlight?
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.